The Greens split first blood, now Daemon and Rhaenyra are out for vengeance. The realm stood at the edge of a knife. A fragile peace once held by fear and diplomacy was shattered. Not by dragons, nor by armies, but by a silent act of treachery. The Greens have drawn first blood. And now, there will be fire. Now, there will be blood. Now, Daemon and Rhaenyra Targaryen are out for vengeance. This is the story of how a kingdom fell into chaos. How one betrayal set aflame the dance of the dragons. And how the Blacks rose, not just to defend the realm, but to avenge the crimes that began it all. The spark of war. The halls of King's Landing once echoed with the songs of peace. But peace had long since died with King Viserys I. Upon his death, the line of succession was no longer a matter of tradition, it was war. Though Viserys named Rhaenyra his heir, though the lords bent the knee, and though the Targaryen blood ran strong in her veins, it was not enough. The Greens, led by Queen Alicent Hightower and her father, Otto Hightower, seized the Iron Throne for Aegon II, a boy with a crown forged not from birthright, but from ambition and lies. The usurpation itself was betrayal enough. But what came next was unforgivable. Luce's death, the first blood. Lucerys Velaryon, young, brave, and loyal, was sent to Storm's End as an envoy, to gain the allegiance of House Baratheon. He carried no sword, only a message from his mother, Queen Rhaenyra. But Aemon Targaryen, Alicent's son, was already there. Aemon, who once lost an eye to Lucerys as children, now rode the monstrous Vhagar, the oldest and most terrifying dragon in existence. The skies over Storm's End darkened that day, not from rain, but from death. Aemon did not intend to kill Lucerys. But dragons are not dogs to be leashed. Vhagar struck. Lucerys and his dragon Arax were torn from the sky, crashing into the violent sea. The realm gasped. The first blood of the dance had been spilled. And it was the blood of Rhaenyra's son. The wrath of a mother. When the news reached Dragonstone, Rhaenyra did not scream. She did not cry. She stared silently out over Blackwater Bay, eyes empty, face pale. Daemon stood beside her, fists clenched in fury. He knew what must be done. The Greens had made their move. Now, it was time for the Blacks to answer. Rhaenyra swore a silent oath that day. There would be no more envoys. No more mercy. The war had truly begun. And vengeance would come on wings of fire. Daemon's first strike. Daemon Targaryen was no stranger to death. The rogue prince. The blood of the dragon. He had fought pirates in the Stepstones, held Harrenhal with brute force, and carved out power with his bare hands. Now, he plotted revenge not as a prince, but as a father. He flew to Harrenhal, taking it without a fight. Its lord bent the knee before him, trembling in the shadow of Caraxes, the blood worm. But Daemon's next move was darker. He found two lowborn assassins, Blood and Cheese, and with a voice like ice, he gave a command. An eye for an eye. They asked. Daemon's reply, no, a son for a son. What followed was unspeakable. The assassins infiltrated the Red Keep, and in the dead of night, they murdered Prince Jaehaerys, Aegon's innocent child. His head was placed in Queen Helaena's lap. The Greens had drawn first blood, but Daemon made sure it wouldn't be the last. Aegon's descent. King Aegon II had his crown, but peace never followed him. After the murder of his son, Aegon spiraled into madness. He drank more, he raged more, he blamed Alicent, then Otto, then everyone but himself. He could not strike Daemon directly, so he turned his wrath on the city, cracking down on dissent, jailing suspected, black, sympathizers, even executing those who whispered Rhaenyra's name. Helaena withdrew from court, broken. Aegon's rule became one of paranoia and fear. But while the Greens scrambled to maintain order, the Blacks prepared for war. Rhaenyra's rise. From Dragonstone, Rhaenyra declared herself queen. Her banners flew across the sea, and one by one, the houses of the Vale, the North, and the Reach pledged fealty. She held her court with solemnity and steel. Where once she was a princess made to wait, now she was a queen forged by grief. She mounted Syrax, her dragon. She trained her sons. She prepared her armies. But Rhaenyra's true weapon was not might. It was fury, a fury only a grieving mother could hold. The dragon war. Soon, dragons filled the skies. The Battle of Rook's Rest saw Rhaenys Targaryen on Meleys, the Red Queen, face off against Aegon and Aemond. Meleys fought valiantly. She nearly killed Aegon, but it was Vhagar, once again, who sealed the death. Rhaenys died in fire. Aegon was burned, horribly. His armor melted to his skin. He barely survived. Aemond now ruled in his stead, cruel and cold. Daemon saw this as the moment. He called upon the old powers, blood magic, secrets lost to time. And he flew to confront Aemond, to end the monster who had started it all. The battle above the god's eye. It was a battle sung of for centuries. Daemon, on Caraxes, Aemond, on Vhagar. They met above the god's eye lake. Winds howled, thunder cracked, and the dragons danced. Talons clashed, fire raged. Then, in a moment of impossible madness, Daemon leapt from Caraxes, sword drawn, and drove Dark Sister through Aemond's skull. All three, Daemon, Aemond, and their dragons, plunged into the waters below. Their bodies were never found. But the damage was done. With Aemond gone, the Greens began to fracture. The fall of King's Landing. Rhaenyra marched on the capital. The gates opened not in battle, but in surrender. The small folk hailed her. They believed her reign would end the madness. But King's Landing was no haven. Aegon had vanished. Otto Hightower had been executed. And Alicent was locked in prayer, unbroken. Rhaenyra claimed the Iron Throne. But it was cold beneath her. Blood still stained its edges. Her reign lasted barely half a year. Betrayals, riots, and starvation followed. The city that once embraced her, turned against her. She fled, broken, hunted. The end of vengeance. Rhaenyra's story ended not on the throne, but in Dragonstone, where it began. She was betrayed by her own. Captured, dragged before Aegon. He fed her to Sunfire, his dragon. Her son watched it happen. Yet even then, vengeance did not die. Her son, Aegon III, would survive the war. He would become king. He would end the dance of the dragons. But he would never smile again. The Greens split first blood. But the blood did not stop there. It flowed through the skies, through castles, through kingdoms. Brother against brother, dragon against dragon, mother against mother. Rhaenyra and Daemon sought vengeance. And they found it. But at what cost? The dance of the dragons tore apart the realm, burned the skies, and shattered House Targaryen from within. All for a throne of swords. All because someone split first blood. Thank you for watching. If you want more epic tales from House of the Dragon, the Targaryens, and the lore of Westeros, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for more. Fire and blood is only the beginning. Fade to black.